I want to invite Dr. Shahrul Hussain. Dr. Shahrul Hussain is a graduate of al-Azhari University, completed his PhD in the Aberdeen University, and is currently a lecturer at Markfield University for the bachelor's and master's courses there. Dr. Shahrul Hussain is the co-founder of the Abrahamic Foundation and currently serves as the chair of the Abrahamic Foundation as well. So without any further ado, I'd like to invite Dr. Shahrul Hussain. Jazakumullah khair.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الأمين سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن سار على نهجه وتمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فسلام الله عليكم ورحمته وبركاته. We are all gathered here today because of one person, and this one person has united us all, and this person is a remarkable person, and I'm not going to try to defend the status of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam because I'm just a Muslim. But anybody who has done any serious study about the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his achievements would recognize him as a great person. And this is what led Michael Hart, who was the author of the book called The 100 Most Influential People, and he ranked Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the first and the most influential person, and only referred to Jesus, peace be upon him, Isa alayhi salam, as the third. And not only him, even if you look at what many people have said about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I think his reputation stands and speaks for itself. So what does it mean to celebrate the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What does it mean? And I think, looking at the audience, it's such a delight to see that the vast majority is what we would call the youth. I've passed the age of being a youth now, okay, and it's nice to see so many youngsters in the audience. And I want you guys to take something away from here. And I don't want to bore you with a long lecture, because I think Imam Sahib over here, Imam Walid, has done a very good job of talking about the birth of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his sha'n. I want for you to take away something, because for me the Mawlid of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the inception, the start, the epoch of a fresh start in human history. And the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam again goes back to the original reason in why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. And He created us to worship Him. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And it's a beautiful sentence. If you really understand the Arabic, it has really a great standard of poetic license. Where Allah says, He says, I have not created humans and jinns. And then He says, illa. So with that illa, except, it negates any other possibility. There can be no second, no third. There is no secondary, tertiary reasons of the creation of humankind. Because Allah says He has created us illa liya'budu, to accept, to worship Him. Now the question is how? Well, how do you worship God? And the way we worship God, from the mercy of God, is that he sent a teacher, a mu'allim, to teach us how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly. I remember, even if you look at a person who is so detached from Islam, a person who probably has never prayed in his life, has committed the most awful sins and crimes, so much so that he has found himself, that society has decided to punish him and put him in prison. That person has this connection with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So much so that this person who's never prayed, and he's a criminal, and society has punished him. It's probably done for drug dealing or murder or some kind of crime which has landed him into prison. Far from deen. Yet this individual has this connection with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that if you were to insult the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in front of this person, that would spark him. That would ignite some kind of anger inside him. Remember this guy, I guarantee you, he hasn't prayed, he doesn't bother, he's so detached from the deen. But this link to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, and a lot of the stupid things that's going on in this world, however misguided it is because of the love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's a very, very important thing for us to have. Because it is a part of our iman. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من ولده ووالده والناس أجمعين. The Prophet ﷺ told us that, none of you can be proper believers. You cannot be a complete believer until you love me more than your son, your parents, and humanity. So, what do I want you to take away from the Mawlid or the celebration of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Celebrating the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's life is about following him and his sunnah. Don't forget, this is the reason why Allah sent Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that we may follow him. He is our role model, our qudwa. He sets the standard for us. He taught us what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad. And you know what? Can we really say that we can ever achieve a status of following Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam completely? Unattainable. And you're probably sitting back and say, hold on, I think I really do all my sunnahs before the prayers and after it, and I've got my long beard and I've got my long jubban all the time, and I think I do a good job of following him. But if you look at the sunnah of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his life, his khuluq, which is described as a khuluq azim. Really, do you really think you can follow him? Okay. Well, let's test it. And this is what I want you to take away today. Because the Mawlid is about following the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his sunnah. So I want you to take away one aspect of his life and try to implement this in your life. Try to do that. Just one thing. One character. The Prophet ﷺ Aisha was asked about his character. And she said, لم يكن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فاحشا ولا متفحشا. That the Prophet ﷺ never engaged in impudicity, and nor did he encourage it. He was neither impudicious nor was he encouraging such bad behavior. And I'm going to miss out the second part of it and go forward towards the end of the hadith, when she said, وَلَمْ يَجْزِئَ السَّيِّئَ بِسَيِّئَةٍ وَلَكِنْ يَعْفُو وَيَصْفَحُ. And that's what I would like you to take away. Is there anyone in this room can say to me that you have not hurt somebody's feelings, that you haven't caused somebody harm, that you haven't done something wrong to somebody, either accidentally or intentionally? Can anybody say they lived their life to this moment now without doing that? Not possible. But what would our Prophet ﷺ do? That's the question. And that's what I want you to take away today. And if you manage to take that and just implement it into your life, if you can't do it all the time, most of the time, then that's an achievement. Because, hold on, if all of us have done something in our life which would either hurt somebody's feeling or harm somebody, either intentionally or unintentionally, then that means that you've also been on the receiving end of harm. Yes? Somebody has harmed you. Somebody has hurt your feelings. So what would the Prophet ﷺ do? What would he do? Because that was his character. And his character, do I have another 5 minutes or so? Because his character, just look at the conquest of Mecca. When the Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah collapsed, it was no longer now a part where Muslims just sat down, but now the Muslim took the challenge, an offensive challenge, and the Prophet just marched to Mecca. And I think Imam Walid Sahib spoke about this and how people wronged him, or was it Mullah Nasir, how people wronged him. And he lived amongst the people of Mecca who did so much harm to him. And not only harm to him, but those around him. And when he gathered the people together, he asked them, ماذا ظنكم أني فاعل بكم? What do you think I'm going to do to you now? I remember, the table has turned, hasn't it? The shoe is definitely under the foot now. Yes? What do you think I'm going to do? And I want you to try to remember this. Try to think about somebody who has really spent his life harming you. Now you got the opportunity, perfect opportunity now to give him some dalilahs, inshallah. What would you do? He turned around and said, Anta akhun kareem, wabna akhun kareem. You're a noble brother, the son of a noble brother. And the Prophet ﷺ turned around and said, فَاذْهَبُوا فَأَنْتُمْ طُلَقَاء. Go, you're free. Was there bloodshed at the conquest of Mecca? You've got to study the history before the moment of the conquest of Mecca to see the torment Muslims went through to appreciate this statement that the Prophet ﷺ made. Profound. And I want to ask you this now. I want to really ask you this. We all have neighbours. We all live in a place where everybody's neighbours, even if you live in a nice posh, detached house in the posh parts of Smethwick or wherever you live, okay, you still must have a neighbour. I want to ask you this. Honestly, I want to ask you this. What would you do if your neighbour came and dropped some rubbish in front of your house? Not in front of your house, but on the pavement, which is the pavement in front of your house. No reason. he or she just came and just dumped some rubbish in front of your house. Okay, I know you guys are lovely people. You probably say, look, subhanallah, nadana, let me just clean it up and you do that. Okay, what would you do the second day and the third day? Would you do the same thing again? Okay, let the adults think about it. I think, every time we roll up our sleeves, okay, and say, let's just have it out now. I just want you to think, look, this is the character of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What did he do? And look, if you think that at the time of the Prophet, he had a nice pavement, which is tarmac or had slabs, think again. It was a raw road, sand. Do you know how difficult it is to clean out the thorns from there? What would our Prophet do? What would our Prophet do? So, let's get back to the point. The Prophet ﷺ was described by Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha that he would never return something bad that was done to him with something bad. وَلَكِنْ يَعْفُو وَيَصْفَحُ. But he would forgive. He would forgive and he would pardon. I was wrong, he would forgive. He'd never reciprocate in doing something harmful and doing something bad. And I want you to take this lesson, this part of the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That next time when somebody has wronged you, learn to forgive. Learn to forgive. Because remember, that is what our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have done. And reviving this and implementing this into your life is celebrating the legacy of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because that has made you into a better person. That has made you into a better person. My time is up. I've been given my notice. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you managed to implement just this small aspect of the life of the Prophet ﷺ. And just before I finish, you know what I was saying about can you really, really completely follow the Prophet ﷺ 100%? Answer is no. He was perfect. Okay, he was perfect. You're not going to reach that. But we can try our best. We can try our best to do as much as we can to copy him. Let's do that. So next time when we're wrong, we're going to forgive that person, inshallah. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.